Let's get physical, it's Jordan here, back again with this week's update on all the physical releases coming to the Nintendo Switch the 12th of January until the 16th. Let's take a look at what we've got this week. The Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon is probably the big one this week, at least for the original Switch, because although it is also releasing on Switch 2, it is a game key over there. Falcom, NIS America, betraying their audience a little bit with that, but I'll cut them some slack. Maybe it was too late in the pipeline to involve the Switch 2 properly. Anyways, this is a JRPG, another entry in the long-running and well-loved franchise, and it's the latest one, okay? It's not a port, it's not a remake, it's the newest, freshest one for fans to devour. Probably not a good jumping in point for those new to the franchise, such as myself. There is a reason I turned down every Legend of Heroes game for review, but this is coming in a deluxe edition on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. And my executive producers, Miami Sunrise, Thorn Metal Luna, Josh Foote, G Bautista 100, Adamantium, Precision Plague, Ghost Bune, The Nemo 6, Kevin W, Dave Huswaite, Jimmy A. Guerrero, Big Bruno, and Sora Cat have chosen this as their pick of the week. Temirana, The Lucky Princess and the Tragic Knights should be releasing in North America this week. Maybe Europe has to wait a smidge longer. I'm sure the Otome fans out there will be able to have the patience to wait for it. As though they don't have a billion other Otomes to read, they're always feasting. This one was announced a long time ago for a Western release, and you can imagine there is a fantasy theme to this, and it is a monster read. It's like 60, 70 hours worth of trying to date very handsome knight dudes. And if you want it or any of the retail games in this video, then please consider purchasing via the links in the description and pinned comment. That massively helps me out and this series to keep producing useful physical content for you guys. VGP are a very nice company with free worldwide shipping on orders over 75 Canadian bucks, which is like 54 American dollars. Plus, each week if you buy something via my link, you are put into a draw to have a chance of winning a $10 discount coupon. And this week's winner is Guy N. Congratulations, Guy. You should get an email from VGP with your discount coupon in the coming days. Thank you for your support and everyone else out there. Centum should be releasing this week in North America. This is already out in Europe. A very weird game, a very Serenity Forge type of game, but also very good. It's a narrative-driven adventure game. Like most of the games they publish, they enjoy subverting your expectations, which ironically makes it less subverting if they all do it and you're kind of expecting it. But reviews are good for this, but it didn't light up the world when it released digitally. However, the developers were definitely lighting something else up when making it. And my executive producers, Viz and D's Nuts, have chosen this as their pick of the week. Animal Crossing New Horizons Nintendo Switch 2 Edition is releasing this week on Nintendo Switch 2, the first Switch 2 physical of the year, but of course it will also play on the original Switch, and this is one of the biggest Switch games enhanced. Yes, you'll be able to see your annoying animal neighbors in 4K clarity, and you'll be able to have more friends online, and use your face with that camera that I'm convinced no one actually uses. Let's see how long Nintendo sticks around with that gimmick. For me, the mouse controls could be a big feature, and this release is also in line with the content upgrade, which will also come to Switch with the hotel feature and loads of small stuff that looks really good. If you don't have Animal Crossing yet, this will be the version to get, and my executive producers, Vey, Justin PDC, and Jennifer M, have chosen this as their pick of the week. Sonic Wings Reunion, a quick mention to this which should finally be releasing this week, and even if it doesn't, I'm never mentioning it again. It's burned me too many times. Alright, the low print, limited pre-order releases. Shovel Knight Dig is Super Rare's latest game and pre-orders have already opened for it. I don't know if Super Rare are changing the way they do their announcements or because it was at the end of the festive period, but they announced this and took pre-orders for it after last Monday's video. They do not do that often. Hopefully it is still in stock by the time you see this if you were interested. There were 5,000 copies on Nintendo Switch and 3,000 copies on PlayStation 5. This is a spin-off of Shovel Knight, less NES, more like Super Nintendo, and it was co-developed between two companies, and there are roguelite elements in here which I don't know, it could be fine, but reviews definitely are not as universally positive compared to the proper Shovel Knight. Maybe a bit light on content, some say. And my executive producers, Dead Bunny's YouTube, OG CIB, God of Resin, Firm Returns, Cartoon Soren, Jake Vav, Cookie Kid, and Nerdy Sean have chosen this as their pick of the week. Outlaws and Handful of Missions Remaster is Limited Run's latest pre-order, open right now. Where do they keep finding these boomer shooters? Like, I was never a PC kid, so most of them passed me by, but it feels like they must be making stuff up at this point. Where do they pull them out from? As per usual, Night Dive have had their mitts on this remaster, and reviews for it are great. Personally, it looks a bit too clean. I don't think it does the visual style much justice. Nothing some wobbly PS1 textures couldn't fix, but that's just me. I'm not a game producer, at least not yet. If I were, wobbly textures all over the place. This is a Western shooter, which is a nice theme, and you can pre-order it right now on Switch and PlayStation 5. Capcom Arcade Stadium Volume 1 is Limited Run's other release available for pre-order right now. I was quite interested in this until my eyes popped at the $60 price tag. For me, a Volume 1 and presumably an upcoming Volume 2 together, that would be worth $60, but the fact that they're gonna separate them for $60 a pop, that's too rich for my blood. Fair enough, you do get 32 retro arcade games, a lot of variety too, and I didn't complain much about the Neo Geo ones, but there's something about reaching that $60 mark that makes it far less enticing for me. But it's on Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox, and there are 5 cover versions available for each. One of them shows the collection, as it should do. The other 4 are covers for a random game included. If you're going to go for the double dipping or penta-picking dingleberries, at least put in some sort of effort. No sane person would buy a retro game collection with just one game represented on the cover, unless they had no choice, like the Castlevania one. But my executive producers, Jeddah Crow, Instacritic, Mr. Awesome, Super Benjulio, and Punky Dooster have chosen this as their pick of the week. Alright, we're jumping into the imports. Yes, Play Asia territory. We have a brand new discount coupon code for 5% off, Jordan 2026. Yay! However, this week there's nothing too much to celebrate, okay? Earnest Evans Collection. Now this actually released last week, very stealthily. In fact, it was supposed to release on Christmas Day, but it was pushed back, and it was last week, not this week. Anyways, probably not one super worth importing, since Limited Run will be doing this sometime in the future. It includes 3 games that were made by people who would go on to create the Tales of RPG series for Bandai. These are janky action platformers with a focus on animated cutscenes, which was pretty nifty back in the day. This Japanese edition does not have English, but Limited Run will, whenever they get around to it, do it. But my executive producers, Dave Horwath and Surfacing for Air, have chosen this as their pick of the week. Before we get into the community spotlight, if you're new here, please do subscribe, okay? The bigger this channel is, the more publishers will pay attention to the demand for physical media. Plus, I want to get to 40,000 subscribers before the end of the year, if possible. Alright, Bunny Bear sent in this photo with a lot of games. I find the most eye-catching one to be Karus, the Japanese exclusive shmup. The black feathers on the white background. It feels like it could be a poster for a early 2000s action movie starring Jet Li and some rapper who wants to act. Cartoon Soren sent in this photo showing off 7, 8, 9, and 10 of the Kemco collections. Nice and colorful, and I do doubt we will ever see these in the West. I don't think they'll go this high. I'm being cynical there, I know. CB4N or CB, I don't know how you want me to say your name, but there is a lot of festive orders from VGP right here, and I do thank you ever so much if you use my link to buy them. This channel exists because of the support like this. It makes the lack of sleep and effort worth it. Dave Horwath sent in this photo with 3 import exclusives, 3 releases with 10 games in total. That is nuts. And yeah, another reminder, Corpse Party has 100% been cancelled in the West. If you were waiting for that, don't, okay? Just get the Japanese version, it plays in English. Dead Bunny's YouTube sent in this photo with the very popular Terminator game. I'm hoping they get to do another great franchise like maybe Aliens or RoboCop. That would be awesome. These Nuts sent in this photo with Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Kind of feels like I've been seeing this sneaking into more and more of people's photos recently, and that's good. I know it sold poorly on both Wii U and even on Switch when it was on fire, but it's such a shame. It's a really nice JRPG during a time where, for me, there was a lull in the genre. Firm Return sent in this photo with Neon White, which is one of the more stylish FPS action games on the system. A bit of a ballet of bullets from what I've heard. Gordman from Germany sent in this photo showing off all 10 volumes of the Neo Geo selections. I love to see it. 100 games in total. That's excellent stuff. Instacritic sent in this photo with Baki Hanma, Wow, that actually came out already? That was a really quick turnaround for Pixel Love. Probably a record time for them. Mr. Awesome sent in this photo with a couple of Switch games, a couple of retro titles here, both import exclusives. Curiosities, I would say, at most, but I'm happy they exist. Mumo Denial sent in this photo with a wealth of game purchases, a compulsory shout out to the Metallic Child, as always an import exclusive that is worth your time. Pixel Art Man managed to get in Animal Well very early indeed. This is a new release that's complete on cards and a fantastic game to boot, and it's not officially out yet. Quarky sent in this photo with almost all of the Atelier games available physically on the Switch. Of course, it is lacking the Arlen trilogy, but those are the ones that aren't available in English, which is still sad. I think Play Asia just should throw a bit of dosh at Koei and get it done. Super Ben Julio sent in this photo, celebrating the festive period in style. Apparently it's $10, and I haven't paid enough attention to see if it's actually as bad as one would assume. Maybe it's alright, who knows? Alright, let's have a roundup. Cultured Weeb. Power Pro JRPG Fan 878. The Enemy Parasite. Twig E. JB in My Knots. El Cubano Loco. Michael H. Philip M. Devil Angel. Red Rose Reaper. Dave E. Andrew R. The Esoteric Camel. Alright, if you want to send in your pictures, the details are on the screen right now. Special thanks to my executive producers who are on the screen right now. Thank you so much for your support, plus you watching right now. If you watched all the way through, please leave me a shovel emoji in honor of Shovel Knight Dig. Because yeah, if you watched all the way through, you really help my channel ever so much with your very nice watch time. Actually, I just checked, and for some insane reason, there is no shovel emoji, there's no spade emoji. I don't know what's going on with those guys, but instead, maybe leave me a cowboy emoji in honor of that Outlaws Night Dive boomer shooter thing, okay? Go check out some of my other videos. I've got a lot of videos for you these past few days, every day pretty much. Go check them out if you missed one of them, and have a fantastic day. Take care.